Batwoman 11, written by W. Hayden Blackman and J.H. Williams III, art by Trevor McCarthy and Pere Perez. Last issue left off with Batwoman and Soon fighting briefly to discover that Soon is actually Morrow, the guy who's been making monsters and can also shapeshift. And this issue is basically just the wrap-up, and I've been very critical on this arc because of its non-linear storytelling and how not difficult it is to keep track of everything, but just annoying it is. This one is told mostly in linear order, so I'm just going to recount it in linear order here. So we open up with Soon, now Morrow, revealing like, "Hi, I'm Morrow, I make monsters, and I consider myself to be a bit of a god. Falchion there is now dead, and I am absorbing his power, and I'm also a shapeshifter, by the way. So, any questions here?" And Batwoman's like, "Nah, you're just kind of a dick." So they get into a fight, obviously. Maria, the La Llorona ghost, is trying to flood her lungs, apparently. But during the middle of the fight, as she's being held busy with Maria, Morrow opens up a portal to the Mother character, who I believe has been mentioned before, and has all the kids and the Bloody Mary character, and the Hook-Handed Man, and just has them all in the portal, and it's just like, "All right, everyone, hop on in. We're gonna go to the mother of all monsters," or whatever. And Batwoman's still pleading, believing that this is Soon, believing this is the person that she had a connection with, which I feel like is kind of like, no, once they shapeshift, you should know you were played, Batwoman. But regardless, at that point, Chase busts in, gun poised at Morrow, and is like, "All right, freeze. Like, I'm going to shoot you if you try to do anything else with those kids." And before she can take the shot, Batwoman knocks her out of, again, some misplaced thing of, no, this is this person I connected with. Morrow's still shot in the shoulder, but they do manage to make their escape through this portal. Croc and Maria are left behind to deal with Batwoman and Chase. So at that point, Chase wakes up and is like, "Batwoman, you idiot. We're never going to get that chance again." And she's like, "Yeah, all right, sorry. We'll deal with it. I'll deal with it my own way. But we got to get out of here because they're flooding the place." So they start swimming their way up. Croc starts attacking them. Kate sends Chase up ahead of her as she deals with Croc. And we see up on the surface, Maggie Sawyer is actually responding to a disturbance because, there's been a whole bunch of magic stuff off this harbor. So there's this giant water explosion as Chase gets up on land and basically is like, just telling Maggie, like, Batwoman literally ruined everything. She cost the lives of all those kids directly. This is because of her. And we see Kate has surfaced in the middle of seeing this conversation. It's just like, good, great. Now Maggie thinks that Batwoman's even worse than she was before. Then we get a 2-page little epilogue here, but before I get to that, there is 1 page in here of Colonel Kane talking to Bet in the hospital still, and basically just saying, "Hey, look, they made the decision to pull the plug and harvest your organs, so I need you to wake up right now." And so she's still asleep, and he's like, "All right, wake up now, soldier," up and at him, still asleep. And he's like, "If you wake up right now, I promise I will teach you everything that Kate refused to show you." And at that, finally Bet opens her eyes, and she's like, "Hey, Uncle Jake." And now he has to hold his agreement with her. So anyway, 2-page little epilogue here. We get Kate talking to Maggie and basically like, "Yeah, so I was kissed earlier, just at the gala. That was a thing, but I didn't kiss back, and I swear it was nothing." And she decides, "All right, look, you want me to open up to you. You want me to tell you my past. Here's my past." And she pulls out a memory box of photos of her mother and father and even her sister and just starts opening up on all the past things they've been through. And Maggie, in return, reveals her little secret that she actually has a daughter named Jamie. And it turns out that her and her ex-husband split up because Maggie was getting more and more deeply involved in the police force, and she was also figuring out that she wasn't exactly heterosexual. So at that point, they decided to call it splits, and she doesn't really have any visitation rights or anything like that with her daughter, but she does still love her and still wants to be in her life. So they bond over this, and they have some fun and ask each other questions and just get a little bit closer. But then the final page cliffhanger is the portal that all the children went through. We see it arrived in this dank temple-looking place, and Morrow is in a wolf form, and it's just like, hey, mother, calls him Mitera. Falchion died, killed by Batwoman, definitely Batwoman, not anyone else. And the mother of all monsters, Mitera, is like, don't worry about it. Soon everyone, including Batwoman, will be devoured by the mother of all monsters. And that's where it leaves off. So, like I said, I've been critical of this arc because of the nonlinear storytelling, and not so much that it's bad or that it's hard to keep track of, but that it's just annoying to keep track of. And now seeing the entire story played out, I can see that they did it mainly because the first 3 issues, if they did it linearly, would have been an incredible slog. Like, all of the action was on the last issue, if this were in order, maybe the last 2. But I still don't think that really excuses it, because you could have just rewritten the story to suit the linear storytelling. The conscious choice was made here to tell it out of order, and it didn't work for me. That's me personally. That's the way I see it. Maybe if you read this all in one go, it'd make a lot more sense, but having split it up over the course of 5 months now, it took way too long between issues, and I was forgetting a lot of stuff. So overall, I don't want to give this issue a particularly bad rating, because on its own it's fine, but it is bearing the brunt of the entire arc that came before it. So as such, I really can't give it any higher than a 6. May seem a bit harsh, but it's just how I'm feeling on this. Art-wise is also, everything's fine, everything's good, nothing's particularly standout amazing. There's one cool panel of Morrow mid-shapeshift, but that's really all I can give for it, and that's not worth an extra half point. So 6 for this. Starting a new arc next time. It says, see Batwoman in World's Finest, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm just glad this arc is pretty much over now.